Hi and welcome to Empowered Movement and Health. I'm Esther, and in today's video, we're going to get onto our hands and knees. We're going to mobilize our spine in all directions. We're going to stretch out our sides and then finish with a juicy twist for our rib cage and upper back area. If you want to get moving, join me on the mat on your hands and knees and let's start. Put your hands under the shoulders, the wrists under the shoulders, knees under the hips, toes are tucked under. Now imagine you've got a paintbrush on your tail and you just start to circle around, circling on the wall behind you, trying to keep your shoulders and arms still. This can always be done on forearms if it's better for your shoulders. And then reverse it and go the other way around. So we're really focusing on moving the pelvis and the lower part of our spine at the moment. And then pause here and just tick-tock the pelvis under and back or out. Again, main focus is think from waist down. So I'm not really moving anything further up at the moment. Just really focus on this part. Curling your tail under and then try to stick your tail back out. Or you can take your awareness to your sit bones, those two bony bits in your bum. And they come closer together as you tuck under and they spread out as you extend or as you stick your bum out. And let's try one more. And then pause in the center, bring your knees together, you can lift up your feet, and now you're just going to swing your tail from left to right. So if I go feet to the left, I should feel the right side here open and the left side close. Then feet to the right, and you feel the other side. So we're just moving our pelvis, our lower back in all three directions. And then pause back in the middle. Just separate those knees again, send your bum back, and then reach your arms forwards, and you can rest your forehead on the ground for a few breaths. Take your knees wide if that feels better for the hips, otherwise they can stay in line with your hips. And try and take your breath into that same area. So think of tailbone, sacrum, lower back area. As you breathe in, imagine the breath is expanding that area, creating some space. And as you breathe out, it just relaxes back in. And then let's come back up onto hands and knees. And now we're going to focus more on the upper back. So imagine I'm holding your pelvis, your hips still here. You're going to try and circle. Think of rib cage, shoulder blade area, upper back area. As you're circling around, you're going to try and keep your arms straight. So if you notice you keep bending your arms, maybe take them a tiny bit wider. Could be because of some tightness around the shoulders and the chest. You feel the sternum drop down, so the shoulder blades come closer together. And then as it goes up, the shoulder blades separate and then down again. And then let's try it the other way around, other direction. And then pause back in the middle. Think of your sternum here at the front. You're going to send that forwards and up, like you've got a light on the chest here that you want to start to shine up the wall. And then you're going to curl it in and around your upper back. Really push the hands into the floor and think of upper back rounding. And then breathe in and go the other way. And do a few more in your own time, checking that it's not coming from the lower back and it's not coming too much from the head. Of course, these structures are attached, so they will also move a little bit with. You're going to try and see how well this upper spine moves by itself or initiated by the upper spine. And we can always do it with wider arms. Sometimes that's just a bit easier for shoulders and neck. Let's try one more. And then pause back in the middle. And now we're going to go side to side. So it's like I'm drawing my right shoulder back, or my left shoulder up. Or is that you want to try and look at your right foot? And then left. So you can use the head just to help you to get that direction. Again, it's side to side. Again, checking it's not just my head moving. I really want to feel these shoulders. One goes up, one goes down. I can feel the side in my waist open and close. And one more each side. And then pause back in the middle, untap the toes, send your bum back. One more time, take a child's pose. 4 or 5 breaths. Try to send them into the upper part of your spine where we've just moved and mobilized. Feel those ribs expand to the side, but also up towards the ceiling. And one more breath. And then slowly bring yourself back up onto hands and knees. Now from here, I'm going to swivel my left foot out so I can stretch the right leg out and I can create a circle here with my arm. So you swivel one foot and then you circle and then you come back and release. So we're going to switch a few times. So I'm swiveling my right foot out. I'm stretching my left leg and I give it a nice circle here, really opening up. And you just carry on in your own time. Doesn't matter if you're on a different side than me, but try to get this smooth change. So you turn one leg out. That's it. Like you put on a bike stand, you put your bike stand out and then you stretch the leg and you come onto the side. And then you circle that arm around and then place it back down. Bring it in and bring the leg back in. So you should be facing away from me and then towards me. So it's like you're coming into a side plank. That's it. You swivel and then you release. Now, as you bring this arm around, I'll show you from the back in a second, you can add a fold of the elbow to give you a bit more shoulder stretch. So I'll show you now when you see the back of me. So I bring this bike stand out, I stretch the leg out, I lift, and then I fold it here. So I can create a bit of extra opening into the shoulder and then back. Let's try a few more. Lift, really think of that reach. My leg is reaching, my arm is reaching, and I should get a lovely stretch into the side of the body. Maybe I can add this arm bend, and you'll notice often we have one that folds further than the other. It's usually, if you're right-handed, the right one is a bit tighter, or left-handed, the left. And then even out. I'm going to do one more this way. And then bring it back into the middle. And now we're going to keep the legs still. I'm going to take my right hand behind my head and I'm going to focus on my elbows. I'm going to try and get my right elbow towards my left wrist, but without bending my left arm. So you may not touch it, you may not get there. And then you're going to breathe in and open. It's not going to feel like a big movement because we have a shorter lever in the arm. You're going to reach that elbow towards your wrist and then up. Let's try 3 more like this. Lift and then twist and lift and one more. And then you can stretch the arm up and then dive all the way underneath. So now you can go further. You can bend that left arm. You can rest the right shoulder on the ground, the head, and then reach the left arm forwards. And then you can just stay here for a few breaths. And I like to just move the tail, the bum a little bit side to side to get a slight different stretch here. One more breath. And then keep your right arm where it is. Just bend your left arm in. And if you can, try and stretch the left arm up to the ceiling. Or again, wrap it around and bring it here onto your right thigh. So again, you get another extra shoulder stretch. This is not good. Arm straight up. If this is not good, just keep your hand in front of your face like this. You can stay here, or wrap it around. And we just stay for a few more breaths. This is a different stretch, even though it looks very similar. This emphasizes more the twist. Again, check where is your bum. Try and sway it a little bit out over to the right. And that usually gives you a bit more stretch. One more breath. Then release your arm. If it's behind you, bring it back. Press the floor away and lift. And then release. And just sit back. Reach the arms forwards. 2-3 breaths to release in child's pose. Again, knees can be hip width or knees can go wide. And then move both hands over to your left. So I can really try and get my right arm long. So now I should feel a bit of an extra stretch into the right side. And I'm going to move both hands over to the right. Left hand on top. And I try and get a bit of extra stretch, a bit of more stretch into the left side. Good, and then come back into the middle. Let's try the other side. So again, wrists on the shoulders, knees on the hips, left hand behind your head now. You're going to breathe in, think left elbow up, and then breathe up. Try to get that left elbow down towards your right wrist, but without bending your right elbow. So that stays straight and the hand will stay behind the head. Don't let it just slide forwards to reach that wrist. And then breathe in and lift again. Breathe out, go down. Breathe in, lift up. And then one more. And then you're going to release the arm from behind the head. You dive underneath. You can place the arm and the side of the head on the floor and then just reach that right arm forwards. So you think of reaching in 2 directions and then again, move your tail a little bit left and right. Usually when you go more to the left here, you'll feel a bit more stretch. So you can just wiggle it side to side. And one more breath here. And then we take this right arm. You can reach it up towards the ceiling. Or you can wrap it around. So you rotate it in and wrap it around your waist. Or if none of these are good for you, just have in front of your face and press that arm down. And that also gives you more twist. So now it's more about the twist. And 2 more breaths here. Now then, bring it back, reach the arm up and over, press this arm into the floor, lift up, and then release it again. One more time, you can either rest in child's pose, or if you want, you can lift up into a downward dog. You have your arms nice and wide, push the floor away and then you can walk through the legs here. If this feels too much or isn't good for your body, then child's pose. Again, bum back, arms reaching forwards. You can turn your palms up to the ceiling for a different variation. So again, it just opens slightly different into your shoulders. 2-3 breaths to release in child's pose. And one more breath. And then slowly bring yourself back up. Isn't it amazing the difference of just 15 minutes moving your spine in all directions can have on your physical, mental, and emotional being? I feel more connected to my body, my mind is calmer, and my spine, and actually the whole of my body, feels like it's opened up, it's stretched out, and it just feels more alive. How do you feel? I'd love to know in your words. Leave me a comment and let me know how you feel. If you enjoyed this video, give it a like, subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you next week with a new video. Have a great week and don't forget to keep on moving.